Hey, what's up, everyone? We're gonna be conducting a lab experiment here, and it's gonna be using acids and metals. So it's which acid liquid can clean metals the most. Um, yeah, and this just explains what the lab will be conducting. So here, the acids we'll be using in the lab is a vinegar salt mix, a coffee salt mix, and a lime juice and salt mix. So before we go into the lab, we need to characterize and talk about acids and strong acids versus weak acids. So a strong acid is an acid that completely ionizes in an aqueous solution, and that means that the acid breaks down into positive and negative charges, and it doesn't leave any compounds in there, and it has a high electroconductivity. A weak acid still ionizes, but it partially ionizes. So that means it leaves some molecules intact, and it ionizes. So you'll have some charges inside of your solution. It does have an electroconductivity, but it's not as strong as a strong acid would have. And yeah. So in this case, we started with the vinegar and salt mix. So we placed our copper pennies inside the vinegar and salt mix, and what's happening is our vinegar and salt is reacting with our copper inside the solution, and the solution is ionizing. So what's happening here is that we don't have a super strong acid, so we don't have an acid that is that's we don't have a metal it's not going to completely ionize. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that the copper won't completely break down into the acid. It's not that strong. It's going to partially ionize, meaning it'll clean the copper to a certain degree, and then that's about it. But other than that, it won't completely break down our copper. The acid is not that strong. So the next one here we have is a lime juice and our salt mix. Now this seems to be the strongest acid that we've used inside the experiment. The pennies come out the cleanest. I believe what's happening here is that the acid is ionizing, but again, it's still partially ionizing, but it's ionizing more than our vinegar solution is doing. So it's ionizing, not completely ionizing to the point where it's breaking down our copper completely. But again, it's cleaning it, and it's partially ionizing, so there is still some compounds inside there. Being the copper itself is obviously still solid. And so next we have here is our coffee and salt mix. So this seems to be our weakest acid. So again, it ionizes. The reaction will ionize partially. So there will be molecules inside there. Obviously, still intact. Our copper here is still intact. It almost barely cleans it, if at any. So we have a very, very, very weak acid here. Didn't do too much to clean the penny, and our penny's still intact, obviously, because it's not strong enough acid to break it, to break down our copper, and it barely cleaned it. So yeah, there you have it.